day. I hope everyone's having a good time. We're getting in. We're getting it in today. We're going to talk about the New York Jets wide receiver position. We're going to discuss some possible cuts, do some roster evaluation, some possible re-signs. So we go ahead and go and get into it, man. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching, no matter where you're watching me from. Let me make sure that I share this so that everyone knows that we are in the building. Again, 515-602-9639, 515-602-9639. Call in, man. Call in. The lines are open. You know what I'm saying? You can definitely, you want to talk Jets, I'm the guy, man. We can definitely be talking about this. Again, we're going to evaluate the roster. We're going to evaluate the wide receiver position as well. We're going to talk about some free agency too. Possible guys we can go after. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. 1 second, folks. Go ahead and share this. And salute to everybody, no matter where you're watching me from. No matter where you're watching me from, salute to you. Let me make sure that this is done here. 1 second. All right. Eddie on the check-in. Yo, salute to you, Eddie. Good to see you in here. Thank you for checking in. I'm sure everyone's on their way. You know what I'm saying? Everyone must do their thing here. Make sure that this is in there. All right. Doing everything well. But I hope everyone's doing, hope you're doing well as well, Eddie. Good to see you in here, my man. Welcome to the stream today. We're going to get into it in just a second, folks. Again, the show is starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern. But you can call in right now. You want to get on the show? You want to talk about the Jets? You want to talk about our wide receiver position? Again, the number is 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639. Call in. You know what I'm saying? We getting ready to talk. We definitely getting ready to talk, all right? So, we're going to get it going in just a second, folks. Quite a bit to talk about tonight. Oh, man. We're about to get it going for real. Again, I hope everyone's had a good time. Hope everyone's had a good day today. Hope everyone's enjoyed themselves and everybody is safe with their families, because there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on out here in the world. Again, if this is your first time watching me as well, exclamation point links in the chat brings up my link tree. That's the links to all of my stuff, all my social media platforms. You can go there, check me out, you know what I'm saying? And, follow me across all my social media platforms. Also follow, my YouTube as well. Sean King, yo, salute to you, King. Good to see you in here as well, my man. King says, what's good, Joe? What's going on, my man? I hope everything's going well with you. You know what I'm saying? We about to get into it, though, because we got to talk these Jets. So I'm going to connect the show 1 second, folks, and I'll be right back.
Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Long Beach Joe. We back with another one. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We're going to be talking about the roster evaluations, man. Got a lot of things coming. Free agency is coming. We need to assess this football team, and we need to all sit down and figure out, hey, what's going on? Where are we at? We're going to be talking about our wide receiver position mainly today. We're going to have some free agency talk as well, and some other things. Just came off of a Super Bowl as well. Bucs got themselves a win, so salute to them. We got Hall of Fame inductees, so we're going to talk about it all. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, Search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. So without further ado, folks, let's go ahead and get into the show. I am fired up. Listen, you know what I'm saying? You can also find me as well on iTunes at The Long Beach Joe Show. Go on there, give me a rating. You know what I'm saying? I love hearing y'all feedback on there as well. Give me a rating, hopefully a 5-star, please. Give me some comments under there as well. You also go to the YouTube too, for those of you that watch me or listen to me on Blog Talk or my shows live. Also live stream during the show as well. So you can go to my YouTube at Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets, I'm right there. You can watch the live stream. You know what I'm saying? You can see everything that's going on. You know what I mean? So it's a lot to get to. Again, my super chats is in there. Again, I want to thank everyone that hits up my super chats. Everyone that hits me on the Cash App as well. Please feel free to do so. You know, it's always greatly appreciated. But now it's time to get into it. All right. We got to talk about this. We've got to talk about the Jets wide receiver position. There's so many things going on. So many moving parts. And you look at this situation here with the Jets, we got some guys that are coming up for some contract situations, guys that we can end up, moving on from. And we've got to make some decisions. I mean, when you look at this wide receiver position right now, I'm going to start with a guy like Crowder. Crowder, for me, when you look at him, honestly, he was our leading wide receiver this year. But I know a lot of people that look at him and look at the situation, look at his contract, and they go, yeah, solid wide receiver, did some great things for us. But if we get rid of him, we can save $10 million. That's something to think about. I mean, that really is. Again, that $10 million for a team that's really looking for upgrades that could possibly be out there on the free agency market, that could be something that could help us out. That really, really could. Again, I thought that he was one of our better wide receivers. Like I said, he was our leading wide receiver. He made plays. But that $10 million could be the difference between a guy like, us getting Allen Robinson, or hell, if we go in for a guy like if Kenny Golladay actually gets onto the market, or Godwin or something like that. Those guys are going to want big money. We've already kind of talked about, the range for Allen Robinson at this point is probably $20 million. That's probably starting, because you got a guy like Amari Cooper making that type of money, and Allen's definitely going to want the cash as well. So there's a lot of things the Jets are going to have to look at. Then you look at a guy like Rashad Perriman. Do we resign him? Is he a guy that you want to see brought back? For me, I'd have no issues with us moving on from him. He alligator armed a lot of footballs. I think we can get better at that position. And I don't know if, again, he's a guy that we can move forward with. I feel like we could get a kid that's younger in the draft that can kind of give us exactly what he gives us. Plus, a little bit more with the advancement of skill set that they will probably gain within the league. So there's a lot of things to think about there. Then you look at Denzel Mims, who's a kid that, man, we saw some flashes out of him, throughout the season, especially early in football games. He was able to get the ball in his hands. There were games where he really put on, and he made us extremely excited. I think everybody looks at him and says to themselves, especially Jets fans, they pretty much say to themselves, hey, this kid's got a bright future. This is a kid that we could see being here. But even, I understand some Jets fans might have questions about him as well, because there were some, again, he's a rookie. And I always tell people this, he's a rookie. You can't just blast all these crazy expectations on them. But, Mims did have, some up and down games as well. I believe there was a Browns game where he was completely blanked for that game. He didn't have a catch. He also missed some time as well during the season, early in the season. Kind of came on, I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks that he missed. Got a concussion at the end of the season. So there's some Jets fans that worry or question his durability. And I think that that's something that he'll definitely shake and be able to prove that he's, good to go next season. That's something I think we'll definitely be looking at him for. So there's a lot of questions at this wide receiver market. Who do we keep? Who do we move on from? Crowder, again, is one of those guys that I think a lot of Jets fans are looking at right now. They're looking at him and they're saying, hey, we could save $10 million. Now, again, the Jets have quite a bit of cap money. I think they're at like $63 million at this point. They could get a lot more with a lot of different cuts and things that they could do, though. But we're not hurting necessarily for cap. We're not. But the more that we can get, the more of an impact that we can make in free agency. So there's a lot to talk about. Again, we're also going to talk about, the targets at wide receiver as well. You know the names that's out there: Allen Robinson, Kenny Galladay, Chris Godwin. There's some other guys too: Will Fuller, Juju Smith-Schuster. There's a lot of guys that we could target, man. A lot of guys that we could target. I'm not against us, going after Juju. I know some fans are kind of looking at him kind of differently, but I think he's a guy that could be able to make plays here. Now, is he a number one? I don't know. But I know he's at least a solid number two. At least. A very solid number two. But I will say that the top of my list is Allen Robinson. I want to see us go after him. I really, really do. And I want to see us score him. He's a guy that I think is a guy that we should absolutely be trying to make sure that he's a Jet. Now, how much that's going to cost if he does touch free agency, I don't know. I don't know how much that's going to cost, but I know it's going to cost quite a bit. Again, I'd say it's probably going to be north of $20 million per. Are you willing to go there? We're going to ask that question tonight. I know I am. I'm telling you right now, I am. I'm ready to go. Now, how far north? Now, that depends, but I'm definitely ready to go north of $20 million per season. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. Definitely going to cover a lot of stuff. Also, we're coming off a Super Bowl again. Respect to the Bucs. You guys got yourselves a W. Let's give them a hand, man. Give them a hand. Give them a hand, man. Yeah. Give them a hand. All right. Not too much. That's Tom Brady. Not too much. Let's not get crazy. All right. That's Tom Brady. I'm not doing too much with Tom Brady. But let me tell you something. That Buccaneers team came out and really put things together. They won the game. It was pretty simple. They got down in the trenches. That pass rush was phenomenal. You look at what they were able to do with, Patrick Mahomes. Look what they were able to do against this Chiefs offense. Completely dismantled them. I spoke about this constantly. I made a video about it as well, and I talked about, the importance of pass rush and the importance of protection. And there's been a long-standing narrative, within this fan base that, hey, if your quarterback is good enough, it doesn't matter. You don't have to protect him. Not only you have to protect him, but you don't have to give him weapons. We've heard, there's been fans that have definitely said that. Well, listen, you got Mahomes out there, who's the best quarterback in the league. Without protection, that guy did not look the same. Didn't look like the same guy that was coming out during the season and just doing whatever he wanted to do, pretty much. Just easy peasy, lofting footballs around. Hey, Tyreek, you look like you're open. Here you go. Hey, Travis Kelce, you look like, oh, yeah. Well, actually, just go a little bit more to the right. Okay, there you go. Boom. It wasn't that easy when he had guys breathing down his neck. A lot of questions, man. So you look at this situation. To me, that game was a game that you should look at and learn from. That game was a game that you should analyze and say, you know what? In today's NFL, you must address the offensive line position. You must. You have to be able to protect your quarterback. Because if you can't, you saw what happened to the Chiefs. One of the most prolific offenses, one of the most prolific offenses ever in the NFL. Didn't score a touchdown. Had 9 points. That was it. Mahomes was running for his life all night. Had 2 interceptions. I think he threw for like 270. It wasn't a great night. And then you look on the flip side, the pass rush that the Bucs were able to provide was ridiculous. Pierre-Paul, Shaq Barrett, that guy's going to make a ton of money. These guys were getting after it. You have to be able to rush the passer in this league. If you can't rush the passer in a passing league, you're going to have an issue, big time issue. And the Bucs just absolutely mauled the Chiefs all game. They didn't look the same. So salute to the Buccaneers. You guys got yourselves a W. Tom Brady once again wins once again. He's tortured us for years with the Patriots. Now he just goes off to Tampa, wins another one. Another ring for him. Salute. I respect him. Then you got the Hall of Fame guys. I'm just going to talk about the players because I know there was a lot of inductions of coaches and contributors and so on and so forth. But salute to them as well. Salute to all the Hall of Fame guys, man. Salute to them. Salute. Let's give them a hand. Let's give them a hand as well. Let's give them a hand. Yeah. These guys are amazing. Yep. Yeah, give them a hand. These guys are guys are amazing players. Charles Woodson, Calvin Johnson, who, I grew up watching as well, Charles Woodson. These are phenomenal players, man. Calvin Johnson was unbelievable when he was in the league. Alan Faneca, former Jets offensive lineman as well, did his thing, played with the Steelers too, phenomenal. John Lynch, that guy used to just blast people as a safety. And, of course, Peyton Manning. That's a no-brainer right there. He's done a lot to the Jets franchise, but he's a great football player. So salute to all of them. I'm happy for everyone that made the Hall of Fame. But I got a question. When is Joe Klecko going to be in the Hall of Fame? That's my question. I'm just wondering. As a Jets fan, now I'm not saying there's any bias. I'm not saying there's any hate. I'm not saying none of that. What I am saying is that Klecko belongs in the Hall of Fame. He does. Dude was a beast on the line, played every position, made Pro Bowls, made All Pros. He did everything. Did it all. There's no reason why he is not in the Hall of Fame. None. It's completely ridiculous. He's got the numbers, even the sack totals. I mean, just don't even get me started. I can go on for 4 years. Joe Klecko needs to be in. It's ridiculous. So we're going to get to these callers. Got a lot of people on the line again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. We're going to be talking Jets, wide receivers. We're going to be talking about other things as well in free agency. A lot of things going on in the league too. Supposedly Carson Wentz is being shopped. We'll figure out what happens with that. There's a little, roughage as well with the Seahawks and Russell Wilson. Things going back and forth, but we'll talk about it all. So 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639. Let me quickly explain this for some people. I run a different type of show, okay? When you call in, you don't need to call in and hang up, call in and hang up, call in and hang up, okay? I'm saying this because there was a certain person that did not understand how this works. And I'm going to make sure that you do, okay? This is annoying, all right? I'm being honest. Don't call in and hang up and call in and hang up. When you call into my show, you're in a queue. So when you call in, you're going to hear my show. You just need to wait in the queue until your time is up. And when your time comes up, you will know. Now, if I don't know your name, I'm going to call out your area code. You need to know your area code. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I'm just saying you need to know your area code, all right? So then you'll come on the show, and then we'll talk football. That's how it works. All right, I got callers already. Please be patient. I will get to everybody. It's a 2-hour show. I'll get to everybody. Believe me. All right? Just be patient. And honestly, if you want to get on earlier in the show, right, you could call in before the show actually starts, and you'll be on the line early. 515-602-9639. Call in about 4 minutes before the show, 4 or 5 minutes before the show starts. You're up early. But just wait your time. Be patient, everybody. Believe me, I'll get to everybody in a timely manner. I want to respect everybody's time. Everybody's in a line, I will get to you. So that's what I'm telling you. All right, so now we're going to get into it. I'm going to go to my guy, E. I'm coming directly to E. Listen, man, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. E, give me your assessment of Mims this season. How did you feel about his season, and what are your thoughts with him going forward?
Joe, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing good. So, Denzel Mims, I really like him. I think he's going to be a great for the future. I think last year, no, because of obviously with the row and stuff, no real off season and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he was hurt most of training camp, training camp that we had. And you're not going to like me for saying this, but I think he was limited by poor quarterback play. Flacco kind of did better with him, but I think without Gase now, and hopefully a new quarterback, in my opinion, but I think Denzel Mims will definitely. I think he has a bright future. I've seen a lot of good comps to him. We were all going nuts when we traded back. When he fell to us at like 48, traded back. What the hell is Douglas doing? He was there at I think 59, picked him, and yeah, we got a great receiver for the future. So he didn't do as much as we would have hoped his rookie year, but he showed traits and he showed potential, and that's all you can really ask for.
Okay, yeah, and I absolutely respect that. I hear your take. Like you said as well, I'll agree. I think that Mims definitely showed a lot of potential, and I think that he's a kid that we're definitely looking forward to seeing next season. But you look at some of the other guys we have currently, and there's some fans already that are talking about cutting Jamison Crowder. That could save the team $10 million. What are your thoughts on that, E? Do you think that that's a move that the Jets should make?
So I like Crowder a lot. He's not worth $10 million, but we need him. So if we need that cap space, we can cut him or restructure something like that. But if we don't need the cap space, we have so much cap space, we could probably afford him at that price. I think you don't have many other receivers, so don't go into the offseason thinking that you're going to cut him immediately. But it's definitely an option if you need to clear up some salary, especially if you can find some upgrades. I like Crowder. I prefer having, guys who can alternate in the slot, not just having one, guy who's strictly a slot receiver. I don't like how people are saying, oh, just play Barrios, way cheaper. I think Crowder, he's a great receiver. He's also it seems like he's a very good security blanket for a rookie or a young quarterback. Like he gets to open on third down really well. And yeah, I would keep Crowder. Worst case, maybe you cut him if you absolutely need salary, but I don't plan on cutting him if I was running the show.
Okay. What about Brashad Perriman, man? Because I know that there's some people in the fan base as well that would like to see him brought back. They like some of the things that he contributed to the offense. Is he a guy that you'd like to see re-signed as well? And if so, what exactly are you giving for him?
So I'm not interested in bringing him back, and there's a few reasons why. So first of all, fans are saying, oh, just make him the fourth wide receiver. Well, if he doesn't want to be the fourth wide receiver, he's going to go find another team and be a starting receiver. There's definitely some team in the league that could make him a starter. Like it looks like, there's definitely teams out there that are going to have weak, receiver positions. It's not just like, oh, the Jets are my only option. He's going to get other options out there. Mm-hmm. But that's not the biggest reason. My thing is, if he was to be the fourth wide receiver forever or whatever, he gets hurt so much. It seems like he gets hurt like multiple times a year. And when you're a fourth wide receiver, you don't just play receiver. You got to, contribute on special teams. And if you can barely stay healthy just playing receiver, how are you going to stay healthy also, running down on kickoffs, punt team, all that? So I would go for another option. I guess worst case you bring back on a cheap deal, but I just want someone who doesn't get hurt so often.
Yeah, and I agree with you. To me, it wasn't just about him getting hurt as well. There were also times where he would alligator arm footballs, where he wasn't in the right position as well within his routes. Like there was quite a bit of issues with Brashad Perriman, but like you said as well, the injury bug biting him, I think definitely could. For me, I'm ready to move on from him. I'd have no issues in that. Like I said as well, I think that we can get younger at that position. Whether you go into the draft or even some of the guys that are going to be in free agency, and we could get better. So that would be the move for me. But I'll tell you what, there's a young guy that I was impressed by, in some of the snaps that he got in Jeff Smith. He looks to be an exclusive rights free agent at this point. Would you like to see the Jets get a deal done with him to bring him back?
Who cares, man? I mean, yeah.
Really?
It's not like he's probably going to get any other offers, so... I mean, what's so special about Jeff Smith? I'm sorry. I just people are hyping up I think it's his brother Vincent Smith coming into this year.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you can't draft another wide receiver. We got Vincent Smith. I mean, as a backup, sure, but I don't know, he's not really a starter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exclusive right free. Let's see, you can just re-sign him for nothing. Yeah, why not? You need depth. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good depth guy, and again, I like what he brought. So I understand, he's not a big name starter, a number one wide receiver, but we still need guys that are going to be able to do some of the things that he does. So I would like to see the Jets bring him back, but if they don't, again, there's other options for us as well, whether it be continuing to search a free agency or the draft. But I think that Jeff Smith is a guy that showed some promise, so I'd like to see him brought back. But again, we're talking about going into free agency, and there's a lot of guys out there, man. A lot of names starting to mix and swirl around. What are your thoughts about the Jets signing Allen Robinson? Would you like to see that? And if so, what do you think we're going to have to end up giving per year to really seal the deal with him? What exactly would make you comfortable?
I would do anything to get Allen Robinson. He's been a stud with crap quarterback play. He's had Blake Bortles, Nick Foles, Mitchell Trubisky. Like, get him with a good quarterback here, dude. I think it might cost like $21 million because I think Amari Cooper got $20 million last year, so he's probably going to want to set the mark himself. So maybe 21, 20.5, something like that. It's expensive, but especially if you get a quarterback on a rookie contract, it's not going to be too big of a deal.
Okay, well, listen. You already know.
Here we go.
Because I'm about to challenge this point. All right. Look, I hear you. I'm willing to go quite a bit for A-Rob as well, but there's got to be a cutoff point, right? Are you willing to do $24 million per season?
24?
24.
No. For a receiver?
Yeah.
No.
I'm asking. I'm just asking questions.
That's not a quarterback. I mean, that you're resetting the market by like $4 million. Are there any other receivers that get that much?
I mean, there's some guys that are coming up. The numbers are going to go north. The market's going to get reset at a certain spot, right? We all know guys are coming up for deals. We know that there's names out there. Galladay is out there. Godwin's out there. A-Rob's out there. Like, there's going to be guys out there, right? So the market's going to get reset. I'm just asking.
Yeah, but
if he asks for $24 million, again, there's other destinations that he could go to. Teams that are proven winners right now. We're still trying to build. He could come here, be in the process of building, or he could turn it around and be, hey, look, I can go somewhere else. I can move on, go forward, go with this team, go with that team, and they're already in contention. If he wants to come here and he says, hey, look, I'll come play for the Jets, but I want a little bit more than I would get somewhere else. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to give up that $24 million if that's what he asks? Is that your ceiling? Is that your no point?
I honestly think it is because we got other positions besides just one wide receiver to get. So
Okay.
24 is a lot, man. I mean,
Okay.
what non-quarterbacks make $24 million?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I hear you. If you want to stop there, if that's what it is, I feel you. I'm just asking questions, man. That's all I'm doing. I'm just asking questions because free agency. The name of the game is to pay. We've seen deals be done, and it's insane, right? We've seen that. We've seen corners get paid an enormous amount of money. We've seen that. Guys really, really getting paid like crazy. So, it is what it is there. But my next question for you is this. Let's say the Bears franchise Allen Robinson, because that's something that they can do as well. They'd actually pay him quite a bit less than they would if they had to re-sign him. Let's say the Bears franchise him. Are you willing to trade for Allen Robinson?
Depends on the compensation.
Let's say the Bears say, you give us a first-round pick and a second-round pick, and you can get Allen Robinson. Are you doing that?
No. And they have no leverage because everyone knows you're tagging him just to trade him. I think he's worth maybe a second-round pick, on a one-year contract.
You think Allen Robinson is only worth the second-round pick, E?
No, for 1 year of Allen Robinson.
Well, it would be a sign and trade, of course, though, right? Because you wouldn't necessarily trade for him unless it was a sign and trade, right?
Yeah, but I don't think the Bears have the leverage to get a first and a second round pick. Maybe a late first round pick, but or early second. I don't think they have the leverage because everyone knows they're trading him. He's not going to. He doesn't want to be there.
Okay, I mean, I look at it like this. I mean,
it's gonna be like the whole.
Go ahead.
It's gonna, and these guys aren't close to each other, in skill wise. But like with Ngakoue last year, he signed a franchise tag, and everyone knew he was doing everything he could to get out of town. Now, I'm not saying Ngakoue, at his position is that as good as Allen Robinson, but they were able to get a second round pick because everyone knows he doesn't want to be there. Everyone knows they're tagging him just to trade him.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't give up a first and a second, maybe a late first at best, but.
Okay, yeah, I respect your take there. What are your thoughts about Will Fuller? Because a lot of people are talking about Will Fuller as well. Is he a guy that you think the Jets should be interested in?
No. It's the same thing with Perryman. He's a better player than Perryman, but he can't stay on the field. I mean, and when he can stay on the field, he gets busted for PEDs. So he's never played a full season in his career. He's been in the league for how long now? I would say no. I would rather, he's paying the cost of it too. So, what is it worth paying? $14 million a year for 13 games of Will Fuller at best, like I'm saying no to that.
Yeah. Look, I respect that take. So my final question for you is, what are your thoughts about watching that Super Bowl, man? How did you feel about watching the Bucs win that game?
I'm not as mad as other Jets fans about Brady winning another one because it kind of rubs it in the Patriots' face. At the end, I kind of hate Belichick more than Brady now. So, Brady's gone now. He's kind of irrelevant to us. He's done all the damage in the past, but going forward, he's in a different conference now. So for me, I'm a Jets fan. I'm a Mets fan. We've been bad for so long. It's good to see a team that's stuck for so long finally win one. And all those players who have been there for forever, like Mike Evans, Levante David, even guys like, who haven't been there for that long but have been, veterans like Ndamukong Suh, Steve McClendon, former Jet, I guess Todd Bowles, former Jet. It's nice to see, some guys like that who really deserve it win a ring. So, yeah, the game, I don't think it was as bad as people think it was. Like, it was a defense game, but it was like a fun defense game, unlike, 2018 Super Bowl where it was just nothing but just sloppy offense and just like there wasn't no like picks or sacks or anything. It was just incomplete passes and like run stuffs and stuff. This, he had, sacks, he had a ton of interceptions, he had like a ton of energy. So I thought it was a decent game.
Okay. Yeah. Look, I respect it. Listen, E, I got to get back to these lines, my man. Everyone's calling in. I want to thank you for calling in, my friend. You have a good night.
Yeah, man. You have a good one too.
All right. Have a good one. Listen, lines is blazing, man. We're going to get to it. Look, I understand some people, hear 24 and they think, oh, that's a lot. Listen, DeAndre Hopkins, there's guys that are making $21 million a season. They're getting guaranteed stuff per year. You're going to have to give up a bit of money to get A-Rod, let me tell you, okay? Because he ain't coming cheap, my man. He's not coming cheap, I'm telling you. He's really, really not. Julio Jones is making that bread as well. There's guys, man, that are really getting paid quite a bit in this league. And they're not QBs. So we got to start looking at that stuff, seriously. Salute to Eddie. Eddie in the chat with the super chat, man. Salute to him, man. Another savage in the chat going off. Eddie in the chat says, again, another savage. Says if you're going to give up a first-round pick for a wide receiver, do it for DeAndre Hopkins. Best hands in the NFL. Too bad he's not available. Yeah, I mean, listen, you give up a first-round pick, you got to go and make sure that the guy you give it up for is serious business. Would I give up a first-round pick for A-Rod? I definitely would think about it. He'd definitely be a guy that I would like to make a move for. It would definitely depend on what first-round pick they're talking about. But Allen Robinson is unbelievable. That dude's phenomenal. And he hasn't had the best quarterback play either. I think he's way up, maybe even better than what people already know that he is. He can put up the numbers, for sure. For sure he can put up the numbers. You just got to get him in the right spot. I think if you want to get A-Rob, you better start thinking. Because, again, we're going to have to pay. These guys are not going to come cheap in free agency. They're truly not. Again, there's wide receivers that are making quite a bit of bread. We talk about Amari Cooper making $20 million. Talk about DeAndre Hopkins making $21 million. Julio Jones, I believe, is making $21 million as well. 23, 24. I know some of y'all, don't like those numbers necessarily, but let me tell you, it's not we might be pushed there. We might be, especially if you want to bring a guy in the door. So it all depends on the cutoff spot. It really, really does. So we're going to keep getting to these lines. And salute to all the savages in the chat. Salute to everybody in the chat. Again, if this is your first time listening to me, if you're listening to me on Blog Talk Radio, I call my chat the savages, man. I call them the savages. Why? Because they're pure savage. They're pure savage. Nobody is safe. Nobody. Not even me. Nobody. Nobody is safe. Nobody. Listen, you bring a take that they don't like, they're going to get after you. Point blank, period. That's how it works around here. So we're going to keep getting to these lines. I'm going to get back to these callers, my man. So now I'm coming to 914. I'm coming directly to you. 914, give me your thoughts. Rashad Perryman, are you re-signing him?
No, the injury that it just didn't really do much to warrant a re-signing.
Okay. Are you cutting Jamison Crowder?
Nah, I would. You need some continuity because there's a good probability. Like there's been a lot of rumors tying as Sam Darnold being traded to Washington for pick 19.
Yeah, there's
So,
a lot
I
of
mean,
rumors
you're
about
gonna
that
have a
out there.
quarter-
But my question is this, though. I understand, you're saying, hey, I wouldn't be interested. You talk
Well,
about
I'm just saying
continuity,
that
but at the
decent
same time,
continuity.
I think you need to also think about the fact that, hey, this guy is also, making $10 million this season. Doesn't that factor into your mind as well when you look at his position?
Yeah, true, but like we don't have many proven commodities on offense. He
Okay.
is a proven commodity, and like you don't want to cut him and then strike out in free agency. Now you got to rely on draft picks and younger players more or less prove it.
Okay. What are your thoughts about the possibility of going after Allen Robinson? I mean, do you think that that's a realistic, signing for the Jets? And if so, where does your cutoff point? How much are you willing to give him a year comfortably?
I'm not really sure about the price. The price, I haven't been paying attention to it, but I'd be willing to give him a good offer. I guess what would, the thing is, well, clearly he has shown interest in the Jets. Obviously, liking I think he liked something mentioning Robert Sala's press conference. So he clearly has it's not like years past where guys would avoid us like the Black Plague.
Yeah, but
So
that doesn't necessarily mean that just because a guy likes, Robert Sala's, him being here and guys are interactive on social media, that doesn't mean that, we're absolutely, he's smitten with us. There's going to be other teams out there vying for his services as well if he actually touches free agency, right? Course. So we're going to be in you're absolutely going to be in a bidding war because, again, there's going to be other teams. And we've seen in the past where players will utilize us or use us for leverage, right? We've seen that in the past. We've seen in the past where players will, I love the Jets. I'm thinking about the Jets. I mean, how many reports have there been throughout free agency where people talk about coming here, where players talk about, the possibility? I mean, there's guys left and right, media all over the place saying, hey, he's interested in the Jets. Hey, he wants to come here. And then it doesn't happen. And we're utilized for leverage. That's happened so many times to us. So again, you're going to be you're going to be bidding against other teams. So when you look at this situation, that's why my question is to you, how much do you think you'll be able to give him per year comfortably to come here? And what are you comfortable with?
I'm not really sure, but like you're talking about things in the past, and honestly, there are only a handful of teams that really have a lot of money to spend. So what are the three teams with the most money are New York, the Colts, and the Jags. Yeah. He's not going back to Jacksonville. That's not so you can cross them off the board. So maybe Indy, New England has a lot of cap, but they don't like paying people, and he's not going to go to New England. They look like a dumpster fire. So I mean, New York.
Hold on a second. You could say that, but right? They did not have a great season this year. But let's keep it real. The Patriots right now they didn't have a good year, but they have a history of winning. They have a history of being winners. If you look at some of the weapons that they've gotten before, Randy Moss was there and he won with them. That was a big time wide receiver. They've had other guys as well, other free agents that they've paid to come there, and they've been able to perform. So I understand what people are saying about them now, but let's not push the Patriots completely out the picture as if they still don't have one of the best coaches to ever be in the NFL, as if they're not an organization that understands how to transfer themselves and get back into that winner circle, because they can. And they are an attractive destination for free agents. Odell Beckham talks about going to play for them all the times. And he's one of the better wide receivers in the league.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. How are they not?
I don't think anyone's
you have a coach in Belichick that has won multiple Super Bowls. How is that not an attractive destination for free agents? If you want to win in this league, he can tell you how to do that. He's proven it. Period.
Well, number one, because look, I'll give you several reasons why the Patriots are. The division has completely changed. The days of the Patriots' dominance is over. They got right now Miami and Buffalo are ahead of them, and despite what the record says, the Jets are not that far off. Despite their record, the Jets are not that far off. So it's not like the days of the past where you're locked for a conference championship. And then secondly, Bill Belichick's authoritarian coaching style is not one that people are very fond of. I mean, think about it. Rob Gronkowski retired, and the moment Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, he came out of retirement to be traded to Tampa Bay because he didn't want to play for Bill Belichick.
Okay.
I mean,
That's
what
only
will
two
show
players.
you that there's
He's had
something-
guys in the past like Chad Ochocinco that went there. That was a big personality that went there to play for him because he loved and respected him. He's had other guys as well.
Yeah,
I
but
just
here's the
talked
thing,
about
Larry.
Randy Moss that has come there
Players don't
that
like you
that loved him and wanted to play for him. So there's been other players in the past. There's certain players, yes, that will stay away from that type of coaching style. But there's other players, regardless of who they are, wants to come there because he can win. How many players have
he
gone
can
there
win.
and
They
have
don't have the
transformed their careers with Belichick and the Patriots? They are a destination because they're
That was
winners.
the past.
If you want to win, all right, even though his coaching style may not fit certain players, if you want to win, you can go to the Patriots and win because they've shown that.
Not anymore.
Okay.
Those days are gone. Trust me. Look.
Okay.
Look, okay, but
let's get back to this deal with Allen Robinson. Then you look at this situation. This is my final question before I let you go. How much are you willing to give him per year?
I guess somewhere around in the 20 range.
Okay, so $20 million per year. That's your cutoff.
Somewhere in that range.
Okay.
Yeah.
I respect that. All right. Listen, I got to get back to these lines because they are burning up. It was great to speak to you, my friend. You have a good night. Oh, go ahead with your trivia.
Okay,
You give us your
before
trivia as well.
You want another Jets trivia question?
Go ahead.
All right. Okay, true or false? The Jets hold a Super Bowl record that cannot be broken.
They hold a Super Bowl record that cannot be broken?
Yes.
I'm going to say true.
You're correct. The Jets hold the record for shortest field goal in Super Bowl history. Tim Turner's final field goal was from a range of 9 yards.
See?
You finally got one.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? I got one. You have a good night, my man. It was great to speak to you. Listen, man.
All right, good.
I got him. I got him. Every time. Listen, we're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. Look, I understand. Everyone has their takes. I'm going to challenge people's points. But at the end of the day, man, come on. Look, I understand the Patriots are not looking good, and I don't like them, but I respect them. They didn't look good this year. But don't start counting the Patriots out and saying it's over because they had a bad season. You know how long they had a streak where they had been in the playoffs for so long, it was ridiculous. It was completely ridiculous. Players still, the Patriots are a destination for free agents. They are, because if you want to win, you can go there and do that. You can. They're one of the greatest coaches ever. Their coaching staff is constantly getting plucked from every single year. This year, of course, they didn't dominate the division like they have in the past, but they've dominated us for so long, it's been ridiculous. They've won so much, it's been ridiculous. As long as Belichick is there, the Patriots are a destination for free agents. They are. But we're going to keep getting to these lines, man. We're going to keep getting to these lines. I think I'm going to my guy Steve next. Steve, my man, it's good to speak to you. I hope you're having a good night tonight. Give me your thoughts about the Jets possibly chasing Juju Smith-Schuster. Is that a guy you'd like to see in green?
Hey, Joe. Well, first off, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Well, first off, before we get into it, the announcement I would like to make is, as of 2 nights ago on February 7th, 2021, the 2020 New York Jets season officially ended. Mm-hmm. With this announcement now on tonight on the Long Beach Joe Show on February 9th, 2021, the 2021 New York Jets season officially begins.
All right. Well, there we go.
So I'd like to get that out of the way. And so now you're talking about Juju Smith-Schuster. Okay, so here is the thing about Juju. Now, I think let's say if Coach Solomon and Mike LaFleur and Joe Douglas decide together, we want to keep Sam, we want to give him another shot. Listen, I think bringing Juju Smith-Schuster would be a nice acquisition. Mm-hmm. The only thing that people do have a problem with him is what he does off the field. I mean, the whole dancing thing that he does on TikTok, because that's something that Jet fans are all saying. Like earlier today on Facebook, I was looking, at the thing was with Will Fuller and Juju Smith-Schuster, and a lot of Jet fans I was seeing were looking more into Will Fuller than Juju.
Okay. Yeah, look, I understand people talking about, Will Fuller. I think that Will Fuller is a solid wide receiver, but I do have questions about Will Fuller. Will, to me, he just shows an inability to stay healthy. But when he is healthy, he's unbelievably explosive. That's the one thing about Will Fuller that is just unbelievable. When you talk about a guy that can take a top off a defense, woo, that's him. And I'm talking about this dude has rockets on his back. He is gone. But my biggest question for him as well is not just the inability to stay on the field and stay healthy, but there's times where he drops a lot of footballs, especially bombs that are where he's wide open. I saw Deshaun launch so many balls his way where he was running by himself because he had absolutely dusted the defender, and he dropped a lot of those footballs. So I'm a little worried about that. But I'm telling you, you want to talk about a guy that gives you a chance to really just crush people and really make them pay instantly. It's Will Fuller. It's Will Fuller if he's got his head on straight. And also the PED stuff as well is a big concern too. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. Joe, the other thing, though, because, there are going to be other positions that the Jets are definitely going to be looking at in this offseason besides wide receiver. And listen, I think the wide receiver position is definitely one of the most needs we need. I mean, because let me tell you something. Now, listen, I love Jamison Crowder, and Crowder does have one more year left on his contract. I personally wouldn't mind keeping him for his last year because obviously because last year, I mean, he was our best receiver on the team, and Denzel Mims has the chance, the potential of still being a great receiver. It was just, the thing was at times that I also felt like last year during last season was that Mims never really got an opportunity. I mean, yes, he was hurt, but Adam Gase, as we've seen him in the past do this before, Adam Gase did not use Denzel Mims right when Mims was healthy. I think now with Mike LaFleur as the offensive coordinator, I think he will definitely use Mims more. And the only thing I'll just say before you talk about the next thing, I would be very happy with moving on from Brashard Perriman. I think Perriman is a garbage receiver. I think he sucks, okay?
Woo.
I think he sucks.
Woo. Listen, right now, Steve is bringing the fire, okay? He's bringing the fire. Whoa! He's speaking the truth about Brashard Perriman. He's telling his true feelings. I'm not, it is what it is. I mean, Steve's bringing it right now. I'm just sitting back like, whoa. He's a garbage receiver, Steve says. Look, I hear you, Steve. I respect your takes on that. I'm a guy that wants to move on from Brashard Perriman as well. He's not a guy that I would be interested in bringing back. Like you said as well, I like Denzel Mims. I like what he brings to the table. But my question for you is this. You talked a little bit about Crowder. I'll let you go for a minute. But, I mean, when you look at the situation, look, I get it. He's a solid wide receiver. He was our best wide receiver this year. But you can save $10 million if you cut him. You can save $10 million. And you can take that $10 million and start to pour over into other position groups. Isn't that something that should also, start ticking in your head too? Because the Jets need a lot of other stuff, right? So wouldn't that make sense if you moved on from Crowder for that cash, though, Steve? I'm just asking.
Yeah, no. The thing is with Crowder is, listen, Crowder, definitely saving $10 million will definitely be a key factor. I mean, because listen, the Jets go into this offseason with the second highest amount of cap space, but still, the biggest concern is going to be is as of now, we have three options of happening at the quarterback. Number one, is it going to be Sam Darnold? That's going to be our quarterback for 2021. I would still love to give Sam another chance, especially with the new coaching system. Option two the whole thing with Deshaun Watson going out. I mean, listen, everything in that Texans organization is a mess right now in Houston. Houston's in a worse position right now than we are. But and the third option is if let's say if we choose to trade Sam, we don't get Deshaun, then obviously that's option 3. We draft one of those 2 quarterbacks, either Justin Fields or Zach Wilson. It's just honestly, Joe, I don't know what's going to happen, but I do have the faith, in Joe Douglas again, and especially with Coach Solomon of what he'll do. Listen, I will tell you this right now. Robert Solomon's going to be a better coach than Adam Gase. 100% he's going to be.
Okay.
It's just, honestly, I just don't know what's going to happen. And the thing that Joe Douglas has to do this offseason is he can't be too cheap in free agency. Because last year, he wasn't very aggressive last year, and he's got to be aggressive in free agency. We got the second highest cap space. You got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, Steve, this was a great call from you, man. This was a great call. I respect it. Go ahead, give me this one. Come on. My in-studio audience, come on. Give me. I respect it. I respect it, Steve. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in, Steve. This was a heck of a call from you. You have a good night, my friend.
Hey, listen.
Go ahead.
Listen, I appreciate the love. Oh, and by the way, the other last thing I want to say before I go off, before you let me go, I want to send a huge congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of winning their second Super Bowl in their franchise history. I mean, it did suck seeing Tom Brady get another ring, but 2 people that I'm very happy for on that Buccaneers team, former Jets defensive tackle Stephen McClendon and our former head coach Todd Bowles of getting a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, salute to them. Again, thank you for calling in, Steve. You have a good night.
No problem, man. Bye-bye.
Listen, Steve calling in with a lot of fire, man. He called in with a lot of fire. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Salute to all the savages in the chat. Sean, Eddie, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in there, man. Robbie, salute to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of love for everybody. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. You can call in. We're talking Jets. We're talking wide receivers. We're talking free agency. We're talking about a lot of things, man. A lot of things. So we're going to keep getting to these lines. I think this is my guy, Mikal. Mikal might be on the line right here. Mikal, is this you, my man? 817, Mikal? Oh, I think we lost him.
What's going on, Joe?
Oh, there you go. I was about to say, what's going on here? What's going on, my man? How are you feeling tonight?
Man? Look, I'm pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. So, Mikal, you already know where we starting, baby. Listen, Rashad Perryman, are you re-signing him?
Not at all.
Oh.
Not at all. Not with a 10-foot pole. No, not at all.
Whoa.
I guess my logic is there's too many options available to bring Perryman back in. It's not even a thing where I'm a scorned team. Oh, hey, you burnt this big contract. It's literally there's just too many other options available to go back down that path.
Yeah. There's quite a bit of options. Now you look at other options as well. Like you talked about our wide receiver position. There's a lot of fans out there already starting to kind of talk about, releasing Crowder because he could, save the Jets $10 million. You get rid of him, the Jets keep $10 million. Is that something that you would be interested in? Well, moving on from Jamison Crowder, harvesting that $10 million, utilizing it to better, the Jets' offense in other ways.
Now, I don't mean to be that guy, Joe.
Okay.
But would you pay $10 million for 699 yards and 6 touchdowns? I'm not.
Ooh, okay.
I'm not, because in all actuality, when you look at Crowder and the production, he's the best player on the worst team. So naturally, he's going to look better because you know what? Hey, the Jets are terrible. So Crowder stands out. But in all actuality, when you stack those numbers up, that's not $10 million worth of production. Lowest level, that is not $10 million worth of production. So me personally, I can move on from Crowder. It wouldn't be my number one thing. That's not going to be my number one thing I'm addressing in the offseason, but it's one of those things. If I'm sitting down with my team and it comes up, it's an option, especially if you're talking about bringing in top-tier talent, freeing up cap space for somebody like A-Rob.
Okay, and that leads me to my next question for you, because you bring in the fire, man. I'm ready to go.
Here we go.
Here we go. I'm ready to get there with you. Listen, A-Rob.
Let's go.
Listen, A-Rob, Macau, we already talked about it. You look at this situation, this is a guy that we all know if he touches free agency, he is going to command quite a bit of money. All right? That's without a shadow of a doubt. We know that there's going to be teams that are going to be vying for his services. I've already said I think $20 million per season is probably the starting point with him. How far north of $20 million are you willing to go? Are you willing to go 23, 24 for A-Rob per season?
Again, the chat probably gonna want to put me on the stage. However, yeah, I don't mean to be that person. I'm not going past 24, but this is why. Again, if you could,
so how high are you going? How high are you going? Hold on, Macau. How high are you going?
Probably 24 and a half. That's it. That's my cap. 24 and a half. And after that, you know what? I feel like you might be milking.
Well, okay, 24 and a half for Macau.
But again, my logic is...
You hot. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. That's a hot take right now. Oh. He said 24 and a half. Talk to me, Macau. Go ahead.
But because, again, this is my logic. We all get what we did to Sam Darnold. We brought him in. Everybody feels like we didn't give him a real opportunity to succeed. However, right or wrong, what did the Cardinals do? Cardinals brought in Kyler Murray. That's their guy, and they're trying to give him the keys to succeed. Whether you're bringing in Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Deshaun Watson, you have to give a quarterback an option. You got to give him somewhere to throw the ball. Worst case scenario, you got to give the defense something to game plan for. Because I'm not game planning for Denzel Mims or Jamison Crowder.
Yeah. I mean, you talking facts right now. You talking facts. You spitting it. I mean, I look at this situation and I hear what you're saying. Giving him, you might have to give him somewhere near that, especially to have him come, to the area. So we'll see what happens there. But my next question,
you got to be realistic. I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
Shoot.
Yeah, you do. You got to be realistic, especially.
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah, especially when you talk about free agency.
Where, I get it. Not, yeah, again, okay, cool. We're not going to play the draft tax and Robert Saleh, but at the end of the day, we all going to work, right? And my whole motivation for going to work is getting paid. You got to be serious. These guys work their whole life. They're going to get paid. And cool, I want to be part of a winning team. I want to be part of a culture change, but at the end of the day, I got to make sure that come retirement, I'm okay.
Yeah, that's true. Now my next question for you is this. If the Bears decide to franchise Allen Robinson, because they could do that, are you willing to trade for him? And if so, what is the most draft capital you're willing to give up?
I guess it depends on how much hardball the Bears are actually trying to play. Like
are you willing to give up a first round pick?
Yeah, but it depends on which first round pick.
Okay.
I'm not giving you the second. I'm probably not even trying to give you one this year. But if you want to take the Seahawks pick next year, hey, go on ahead. Go for it. Because it's one of those things where I really don't know where they're going to end up. Hey, if it comes back to bite me in the butt, I can live with it. But at this point in time, I don't know what that draft pick's going to be.
Okay. Look, you bringing the fire right now. You got a lot of takes, and I can respect it. My next question for you is: there's a lot of rumors swirling about Juju Smith-Schuster. That name's swirling about out there. Is he a guy that you'd like to bring in as well?
On the top end, no. But if I truly believe in Robert Saleh and this culture change situation, which I do, yeah, I can bring in Juju Smith because Robert Saleh is going to hold people accountable. Hey, all the antics. The first day you bring Juju in, you sit him down. You have a candid conversation with him. This is what we expect. This is where we're going. We are not the Pittsburgh Steelers, and not in a sense where, hey, we don't want to win. We don't want that culture, but we don't want what you were doing on the Steelers. So I need you to be on best behavior. And to a certain extent, hey, work that into a contract. Give yourself a way out in case Juju turns into Juju.
Yeah. No, look, I respect that. I respect that take there. So my final question for you before I let you go is, what are your thoughts about the Bucs winning that Super Bowl, man? How'd you feel watching that? What was your reaction?
Again, I don't mean to be Mr. Controversial, but I hate Tom Brady. For years, I have wanted that man to break his leg or arm fall off or anything that you could wish on Tom Brady. I was praying for it. But at the same time, like, I go to work and I work hard every day, and I watch Tom do nothing but that. He's scorched the league for years. So to have Bill Belichick essentially try to undermine his greatness and for him to rise up out the ashes like the Phoenix and kind of just, I did it. It was beautiful. I told people all week, I was like, Tom, go win the Super Bowl, folks. And I want him to because, in all actuality, Tom, look, deflate gate, whatever you want. Tom's a great quarterback. I would have loved to have him. Cards didn't work out that way. Tom deserved it. Look, Pat Mahomes ain't nothing against you. It's just Tom put the league on his back. I'm glad he won the Super Bowl. Shout out to Todd Bowles. Glad he got to have that redemption party. Great for Steve McClendon, all the vets on the team that got to do it. But, I mean, end of the day, I was glad they won. Mostly for Tom, but I was glad that they won.
Yeah. Look, I respect it. This was a heck of a call from you, Mikal. This was a heck of a call. I mean, you brought the fire, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Give this man a hand, man. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. I respect it. Listen, Mikal, I got to get back to these lines, man. You left the lines cooking. These lines is blazing right now, my man, all right? You have a good night, man.
You too, man. Be safe, Joe.
All right, peace. Whew, Mikal. Listen, Mikal called in. He didn't play no games. He got straight down to business. Straight down to business. You know what I'm saying? You know, I go back and forth with everybody. I get attacked. People want to hear my takes. I give them my takes. I mean, what else do you folks want, man?
What more do you want from me?
What do you want? You're trying to come after me. I love it. Salute to all the savages in the chat. Again, we're going to keep getting to these lines, man. We're going to keep getting to these lines. I think this is my guy Chris up next. 857. Chris, I'm coming directly to you. I hope you're having a good night, my man. I hope everything is good with you. I want to thank you for calling in. Now, Chris, listen, we're starting off. Jamison Crowder, a lot of fans want him cut. They want to save that $10 million. Are you one of those fans?
No, we don't cut Jamison Crowder. In fact, we don't cut Brashard Perryman.
What?
Half of the callers that y'all seen that. Listen to me, man.
Okay, I'm listening.
Half of the callers y'all don't see. If this is what I'm telling you guys, and I would say it's conditional. So I know you're of the fan that we keep Sam Darnold and we build around Sam Darnold. Okay, if you're keeping Sam Darnold, one of the things that you got to have is continuity. And this guy, Brashard Perryman, has had a good career, has shown sparks of greatness with Jameis Winston. Okay. Jameis Winston, goodness, with Jameis Winston, he's a decent 2 or 3 receiver. But what this is my problem with the Jet fans, okay? And let me get
greatness though. But hold on, Chris. Greatness. You only have 500 yards this year. Greatness.
I'm not greatness, but
okay.
let's.
You said great. Go ahead.
He's been decent.
Okay.
He's been decent. Okay, this is what I have a problem with the Jet fans. I looked at the Super Bowl, and what is on the field for both teams? Tight ends. We have no tight ends. You guys keep talking about drafted guards and tackles, and we don't have enough. Where's the tight ends? These guys had great tight ends, and if you're trying to keep Sam Darnold, like most of the fan base, because I think Sam Darnold's a good guy. Mm-hmm. Honestly, he's a great guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a good person and everything else, and I would like to see that guy succeed in New York. Mm-hmm. You know, but if you're trying to keep Sam Darnold, and you're making the argument, you have to put tight ends around them. You have to put 2 good tight ends around them. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's just the bottom line.
No, listen, Chris. Again, I want to thank you for calling in. I hear your take. I understand the tight end take. I think you need to put an offensive line around him. I think you need 2 good tackles.
Listen. Let me tell you something.
I think you need 2 good tackles. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying.
Go ahead.
Listen. I'm calling you from a town where Tom Brady won the championship.
Yeah.
Why did he win those championships?
Well,
He had Gronk.
Yeah, but he had
had
protection
Aaron
too.
Hernandez.
That was there too as well.
He had teams. He had guys. He had guys that he had short throws and short reads, and those guys had to double down on Gronkowski and left those Julian Edelman and those other guys over the middle. My thing is that the tight end position is just as much as important as your left tackle and your thing, and that's why Dante Scarnecchia was so successful.
Well, okay.
He is.
Look,
You guys want to give all this money to Joe Thuney, and all this other things, and he's a product of Dante Scarnecchia. And like I said, I get mad at Jeff fans because I see all these things. I'm like, dude, he's with the best offensive line coach in the history of
yeah, but you have
and
to
this guy
hold on a
$50
second,
million
because this
to,
is
he's
just
fucking killing it.
this is a car wreck. I mean, listen, hold on a second. Look, I understand what you're saying, Chris. Yes, they have a very solid offensive line coach, but you still have to be talented to go out there and get the job done, right? Just because you have a great coach doesn't automatically mean you're going to become a great player. You have to have the talent to go do that. Now, I do understand your take about tight ends. I get it. Travis Kelce, phenomenal. You know, the Bucs got some decent tight ends as well, but what they also had and what you saw in the breakdown with the Chiefs, you talked about it. Tight ends, we need great tight ends. They couldn't get the ball to that tight end because they didn't have any protection. So I do understand what you're talking about, but listen, Joe Thuney or a tight end is not the same value as a left tackle. I'm sorry, it's not. You got a great left tackle, that is way more important than having a great tight end. You could have a tight end that is below average, still be able to move things. But if you cannot protect your quarterback, and that's what we saw against the Chiefs, they could not protect Patrick Mahomes. He's a dead man walking. You have to protect him. So I do understand talking about tight ends, but you have to have protection. Point blank, period. That's more important than a tight end. Go ahead. I'll give you. Go ahead. Ask your question.
The left tackle is important.
Say it again.
Okay. Now the Giants tight end, or the Giants left tackle, he was in the Patriots. What did he do when he was with the Giants? Has he been the same guy?
Go ahead.
The Giants left tackle. He has not been the same guy since he left New England.
No.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Giants gave him millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, look,
That's what I'm saying. That proof's right there.
Well, that's a kind of a straw man argument. I understand what you're trying to say, but that's not really proof. That's just a bad free agency signing. I mean, you could say that here, but at the end of the day, that does not negate the impact or the impact of having a quality left tackle.
Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't negate that impact. I understand what you're trying to say. I get your take, but
you're right.
It's not the same. But let's move forward because there's quite a bit to talk about here.
Okay.
I want to get to A-Rob with you, man, because this wide receiver position is necessary here. We've got to make sure that we can get a number one guy, and we got to make sure that we can attack free agency. I know that there's a lot of fans as well that want to see us get aggressive in this free agency period because last season they didn't feel like we got aggressive enough. So you look at the situation with Allen Robinson. Is he a guy that you want to target? And if so, how high are you willing to go? Because everybody's saying 20 is the starting, 20 per year. How far north are you willing to go from 20?
Allen Robinson's an East Coast guy, Penn State dude. You know, he'll want to come back here. But the problem is that if Chicago's going to franchise him, and I think they're going to franchise him, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to let him go because they're going to want a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to get rid of Trubisky. They're going to get rid of it. So I think they're going to be franchised. I wouldn't trade a number one pick for him. I think you can there are better options in the draft, and I think that you can, maneuver and think with tight ends and other things. But, like I said, I wouldn't trade the whole thing, but I think Chicago's going to franchise.
Okay. No, look, I respect that.
Honest with you.
Okay, so if they franchise and you said you wouldn't give up a number one pick, you would go to the draft. You wouldn't touch them at all.
I would give up a number one pick for. I would listen, it depends on the quarterback situation. Fans like yourself want to keep Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
I like Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I truly like this kid. I think he's a great guy. I think he loves New York. I think he wants to win a championship. I think he feels the city. But it became to him and Deshaun Watson, you know, there's just a supreme talent level with Deshaun level. He's better than Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
And like I said, at the collegiate level, and at the pro level, he's just a better quarterback. But if you can't get Deshaun Watson, and the options that you have between Zach Wilson, which I don't think that's what they say he's the West Coast, and he hasn't played against anybody. Mm. And then Justin Fields, the Ohio State quarterback thing. Well, they just come in the NFL and burn out. Man.
Yeah. No, listen. I hear your take there. I hear your take. I hear what you're saying. I understand, you looking at the quarterback situation, and that definitely could impact us again if we get Deshaun Watson, the cap impact kind of changes there. But we still got to look at, making sure that we can do whatever we can in free agency to better this football team. But Chris, listen, man, I got to get back to these lines because the lines is hot right now. I'm going to have to let you go.
One last
go
thing.
ahead.
I want to tell all Jeff fans one last thing. I understand everybody. Listen, I want to say that I'm a firm believer that Todd Bowles wasn't given a fair chance. I want to say that Todd Bowles has had the best Super Bowl history, set the best performance of a decent quarter in Super Bowl history. If he was given Josh McCown, he was given Ryan Fitzpatrick, he was given Sam Darnold. He wasn't given a great quarterback. So my thing is that if you gave that guy a fair chance, and obviously the offensive coordinator stuff, but if you gave this guy a great quarterback, and wait, listen to me right here. If the Jets just drafted Deshaun Watson, hold up. If the Jets just drafted Deshaun Watson instead of Jamal Adams, we would be in that situation because they had a chance to do that.
Yeah, Chris, listen. Listen, I hear you, Chris, and I respect your take. I don't agree with it at all, but I got to get back to these lines. Listen, thank you for calling in tonight. Right, next time I have a show, call in. We'll definitely talk about this. Listen, I respect Chris, and I got nothing but love for Chris. But let me tell you something. Everybody is trying to romanticize Todd Bowles. Look, that guy here as a head coach, it was a car wreck. All right, baby. I remember those days. Everyone's talking about, like Chris said before he left, talking about bad quarterback play. We should have drafted this guy. He was here when we drafted Sam. Who do you think was the head coach then? Does anybody remember all the nonsensical things that he would do during games? All the horrific timeout usage, how he didn't understand how to utilize players? My God, he had Sheldon Richardson at outside linebacker. Go watch the game. I don't even remember the date of the game. We played the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona and got destroyed. I was live at that game. Todd Bowles was fired for a reason, dude. Come on. You guys got to stop romanticizing him. You got to stop doing that. As a defensive coordinator with the Bucs, phenomenal. I used to say that. I was one of the guys calling for him to get fired. It was me. It was me. I was doing that. All right? Great, solid, very solid defensive coordinator, with the Bucs. He was not a good head coach here. And he was not a good defensive coordinator either. Him or Casey Rogers. He fired every coach that he had. Offensive coordinators, he even fired his special teams coordinator until he could not fire anyone else. I remember he literally sat there while Ryan Fitzpatrick threw like 6 or 7 interceptions, I think, against the Chiefs and did nothing. Just sat there. Whoa. I wish him nothing but the best. Congratulations. Salute to him with the Bucs. I'm glad that he got a Super Bowl. He put a great defensive game plan together. They mauled the Chiefs. But do not sit here and play revisionist history and romanticize his time here and say that we didn't give him a chance. That's not true. I think he was here 3 or 4 years he was here. Whoa. Ooh, we're going to keep getting to these lines, man. We got some hot stuff going on. We're getting to 845. I'm coming to you. 845. Whoa. 845.
Hey.
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you for calling into the show. I'm just trying to recover from the Todd Bowles romanticizing. Oh. That was a car wreck. I don't know what the hell just happened. Woo! Tried to derail the joint. Listen.
Yeah, Todd Bowles.
Listen.
Todd Bowles,
he had his chance, but it just didn't work out.
Oh man, it did. Yeah, it did not. But I want to move forward from that because that was insane. Let's talk about this wide receiver position here.
To him. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I'm happy for him too. I'm happy to be moved on from him as well as a head coach. When you look at our situation here at wide receiver, are you re-signing Bashad Perryman? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I actually think that right now our wide receiver room is not that bad. And I did this after looking at some tape and throughout the years, throughout the season.
Okay.
We just need one. We just need one wide receiver. I think if we added a Allen Robertson or Juju, and kept Jamison Crowder, kept Mims, and kept Perriman as a fourth wide receiver on if we can, if depending obviously on contract, if we can get him for cheap,
Okay.
then I wouldn't mind keeping him as a fourth wide receiver on the team. I wouldn't say he's a starter though. I think that he's made some plays this year. I think that he has potential to make more plays. Honestly, I've seen him wide open with Darnold not throwing the ball to him, and I've seen Mims wide open without Darnold throwing the ball to him. So I believe that our wide receiver core is not as bad as people think it is. And we just need one big, target, and that's going to make everybody else better.
Okay. So when you look at you talking about that big target, let's go there. Allen Robinson. Are you interested in bringing him in? Is that a guy that you want to sign? And if so, you look at the situation. $20 million is pretty much what everybody's saying is a starting point. How far north are you willing to do that?
Absolutely, I'm willing to get Allen Robinson for $20 million. I believe that he will, like I said, fit in our wide receiver room and kind of like open it up for everybody around him. I believe that he's worth it. I think he's hasn't been utilized his the capabilities to his highest capabilities in Chicago, even although he did ball out a little. I think that he can pop it even more and give him like a 3-year, 4-year contract. He's 27 right now. By the time he's I know he's just in his prime, I believe. So make him our number one, make Mims our number two, have Jamison in the slot, who I think Jamison is a baller. I think he's one of the best slot wide receivers in the league. So I don't know why people are saying that we got to get rid of him. I don't get where that conversation is coming from. He's had some of the most yards out of any person in the slot for a while. He was up there, and then he kind of dipped later on in the season. But it's not his fault that he didn't get as many yards as we expected. I believe that he has the talent to, and I think that when we get a different – I'm not going to put it on Sam either. I think that, you said before, the offensive line is the biggest problem on our team.
Yes.
I believe that when whoever the quarterback is, whether it be, Sam, whether it be Deshaun, whether it be I think Zach Wilson is his name, Justin Fields, whoever it is, they need a solid offensive line. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I want to go there to have two things this offseason, and I think he did the first one. He nailed the coaching hire, and the second thing I wanted was the best O-line in sports. Not in football right now. And I think that he's an offensive lineman. He knows what he's looking for. He got Becton last year. This year, I know there's Penei Sewell. I don't believe that we need to get him per se, because I think that George Fant is pretty good. I think that George Fant is also he's a captain on our team. George Fant, I think that he did a good job this year. We need to fix the guard and center positions. If we can get one in free agency as well, and get Allen Robinson, I think that's a good start.
Okay. Listen, I got to get back to these lines, man. I want to thank you for calling in. This was quite a call from you, bro. You spit a lot of fire in this call. I like this. I like this. I like this. You know, we call on a weekly basis. I like this, my man. I like this from you. You got some fire there. Listen, man, I want to thank you for calling in, my friend. You have a good night, all right?
Thank you, man.
All right, you have
a good night, too. Love your show. You take care. Have a good one.
Thank you so much for the support. You have a good one. Listen, we're going to keep getting to these lines, man. Whew, I'm still trying to recover from that Todd Bowles take. It's really just.
What more do you want from me?
I'm trying to recover, man. I'm trying to recover. I just looked at the situation and I'm like, come on.
You're smoking crack. Stop.
You got to, man. You got to stop, man. Crack is whack, kids. Crack is whack, man. But we getting back to it. We got to get back to these lines. All right. 919, I'm coming to you. I think this is my guy, Mike from Bayshore. Mike, what's going on, my man? It's good to have you back on tonight.
Big Joe, you all right, bro?
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to recover, man. these people talking to me about Todd Bowles, man. It's just
Man, what's all these let me tell you, man. Let's get this straight right now. Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, you got the vanilla stallion on right now, okay? I don't try to be down. I am down, okay? Let me tell you something, cats, all right? I am here. You better listen. What in the hell is that cat talking about? Man, dude, we wanted to fire Todd Bowles. We love Todd Bowles, but didn't work out. Move on.
yeah.
Okay? He's talking about tight ends. Does he know how many? Dude, my man, do you realize that position takes years to develop? He's talking about 2 tight ends. Yeah, one's in prison, and he's gone. Okay, let's move on. Next.
Let's move on. Hold on. Let's move on, Mike. Let's not go too crazy. I feel you. I respect you.
Man,
I respect you. I
Like
respect
I
you,
said.
savage. Mike, come on. Mike coming in with this. I respect it, Mike. But I want to talk to you about this
Joe,
wide
when
receiver
you
position.
ask for Bayshore, this is how we roll in This is how we roll in Bayshore.
I respect it. I
Let me
respect
tell
it.
you,
I
man.
respect it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have to ask to be down. I know I'm down.
Let's not get too crazy.
This is sucker
But
free
let's
Tuesday.
talk about
All
this,
those
Mike. Let's talk
suckers
about this,
need
Mike.
to
You
go.
look at this situation, the wide receiver position. A lot of people are looking in there saying, "Hey,
Right.
we got some things we need to do. We got some questions that need answers."
Right.
Brashad Perryman, are you resigning him?
Cheap.
Okay.
Cheap.
How cheap are we talking? What's the
I'd
cheapest
rather-
you think you can get him for?
Cheap. Cheap
Okay.
enough that I can sign Allen Robinson. Cheap enough
Okay.
that I can sign Allen Robinson.
Well, let's go there then.
Cheap enough
How much
that I
you
can
giving
do
Allen
that.
Robinson per year?
Oh, damn, Joe. I mean, I'm hearing. Let me tell you, man, off the cuff, the rumors that I'm hearing is that Juju wants to come to New York and he wants to come to the Chargers.
I'm hearing
You know,
I'm hearing
it
some of the
breaks my
same
heart to
things.
even say Los Angeles. I'm hearing the same things. That he wants to go to Los Angeles, but at the same time, and man, we don't need that. I mean, I love Juju. I love what he does. I love what he brings. But at the same time, we don't need those antics on this team, man. We need a straight up one voice, and you know, we just got to be amped, and we got to be amped the right way. And I think Allen Robinson is that silent assassin, and you know, he's a player that just sets the tone. And we got number 15 waiting for him. If we can sign Perryman, I would love to sign him, man. He's got wheels.
For sure.
And the thing is, though, that's going to open up Mims, open up Crowder. I want to keep Crowder. I think he did the best that he could. Dealing with the situation that we did, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to get on that other coach. I won't even say his name. But we have – I mean, people have to understand what we got here, Joe. If you trade Sam Darnold, okay, look at all right, everybody, are you listening to me? The teams that want Sam Darnold, San Francisco,
Yep.
Indianapolis Colts,
Yep.
maybe under the radar, Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are playoff caliber teams and championship teams.
Yep.
If we keep Sam Darnold and build the right players around him, Joe, I ain't going to say nothing about the 23rd pick because we've been there. Next. I love you, Joe.
No.
I didn't
Go ahead, Mike. Mike, I'm listening. Go ahead.
I didn't curse last week.
Thank you.
You didn't. I almost cursed.
Almost, yeah. But you didn't. I thank you for that, and I respect it. Go ahead.
Okay.
You didn't say it though.
All
You
right,
didn't say
that's
it. Go
what,
ahead.
All right. But we need to trade out of that number two. There's so much upside. I mean, let me tell you, man. If Sam Darnold was in this draft, ladies and gentlemen, with Luke Wilson, Fields, who would you pick?
Yeah.
Don't lie.
Yeah.
Don't lie.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold. Move on.
Yeah.
So let's build around this young cat, give him the respect that he deserves. Remember the Sam Darnold that played on Monday night in Detroit that came back from a pick six. He played better under Todd Bowles when Bates was his mentor or offensive coordinator or whatever you want to call it. And we all know what Adam Gase does. We ain't going to go there. We know what he does. He is a damage control menace.
Yeah.
Just because he had a beer with Peyton Manning, he's done nothing.
Yeah.
You
Listen, Mike.
Stay focused. Trust in Joe D.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, Mike, listen. You bringing the fire right now. I got to get to these lines, though, man. I want to thank you for calling in tonight because every time you call in, you bring a unique perspective, and you're a fired up Jets fan. I love it, man. Listen, I want to thank you, man, because this is a heck of a call from you, dude. Give him his flowers. Go ahead, in studio audience. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Give him his flowers. He is to be appreciated. You know? I respect you, Mike. I respect you.
Joe, you're the man. I really appreciate it, man. And
Absolutely.
Thank God I did legs this morning. So I'm very calm.
All right, Mike. I got to get back to these lines. You have a good night, man.
My man. Hey, you always get respect from the Vanilla Stallion. Keep it in the hood. All right, my man.
My guy Mike calling in. He's a different type of guy. He brings his fire. He brings his takes. We gonna keep getting to these lines. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to all my savages. It's been crazy. I'm still trying to recover from that from that Todd Bowles, But we gonna keep going. I think this is my guy Val. On the line right here. Val, is this you, my man?
Yes, sir.
Val.
How you doing, Joe?
Listen. If y'all don't know, Val, savage. You don't want no problems with Val. You don't want no problems with Val. Let me tell you that right now. Val, listen. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. We got to get right to it. Rashad Perriman, are you re-signing him, bro?
I think we should move on. I think we've seen enough. I mean, I feel like we could actually get more of an upgrade from Perriman, but he did show out, towards the end. But the thing is, I feel like we need to get that solid number one. I don't think he's a number one.
Okay.
I think we could build around Crowder. I really want Crowder back.
Okay, so you're not a guy that wants to cut Crowder at all.
No, I'm not. I mean, he shows up every game. I mean, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have probably been in some of the games. So I would say we definitely got to at least have Crowder around. He's a good route runner, and he's consistent with catching the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, I hear your take there. Now, there's a lot of fans that are interested in Kenny Golladay as well. If he hits the market, are you one of those fans? Is he a guy that you want to chase if he's in the free agency mix?
Kenny Golladay. I don't even wait.
Kenny Golladay.
Is he on the
Lions?
Oh no, the Lions. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with him. I haven't watched Lions games in a while.
What about Chris Godwin? Chris Godwin with Tampa Bay, he's pretty solid. He could be out there as well.
Oh yeah. See, that's a Robbie Anderson, more of an upgrade. Robbie Anderson. Plus, he's younger. I heard about him. He's 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of upside. He did couple of balls and stuff, but other than that, I think we should definitely get him. He's a person that's going to stretch out the field and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need that. We need somebody to stretch it out, and he could possibly be a number one. Possibly.
Well, no.
So,
listen, Godwin come here, he for sure is a number one. If Chris Godwin ain't a number one, I don't know. I hear you, Val. Val. You speaking facts though. You spitting fire.
Was he with the Bills before, like a couple of years ago?
No. He was drafted by Tampa Bay. He was actually. We should have actually drafted him.
Oh, okay.
We should have drafted him, but we took somebody else. But Chris Godwin is a baller. But I want to ask you this as well. Because we talked about different wide receivers. I know you super familiar with Allen Robinson though. I know you are. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Listen.
Absolutely.
You look at the situation. 20 million is probably the starting point, right? That's probably the starting point. A lot of people talking about that. How north of 20 million are you willing to go? What's your cutoff point?
Whew. All right. So let's just take this into in text. He's liking a lot of tweets about, I understand. He's liking a lot of tweets about, the coach Robert.
Yeah.
I think he has history with Robert because he was with the Jags and stuff. The time that he was with the Jags, Robert was the defensive coach of the Jags at the time. So, they have that little connection right there. So possibly, I don't know, he might take a little dip to probably 18, probably. I don't know. Hopefully,
Why would he do that, though? Wow.
But, you're saying why would he do that?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's been guys in the past that have liked, just liked, possibly coming to New York and stuff like that. I could see that, right? I understand that they like Sulla, but guys want to get paid, bro. They want to get paid. Now, I could see him taking a pay cut if we have a big time history of winning and that we've won a Super Bowl and he thinks that we could, possibly win one here. If we're coming off a Super Bowl win, or you could clearly see we're there, but we're not there. He's going to come here and we're still building. We're probably a year or two away from really being a contender. So guys are going to want to cash in, and he's going to want to cash in, bro. And so my question is, again, I'm going back to it. How north of 20 are you going? Are you going 22, 23? What's your cutoff point, man?
Oh, man, all right, so we're going to have like $75 million in the cap if we cut some players and stuff. So
yeah, I think about 75, 80 million, something like that.
I would do
with more cuts. Cuts.
So I would say 23. I would give him 23.
Okay.
23 million. And let me just put this in the account real quick. I think he would take like a less contract if we get Deshaun Watson, because I think he wants that to happen. But if it doesn't happen, I think we would go 23 million.
Okay.
That's the thing. I feel like players want to play with Deshaun Watson. So but we got to see how that goes.
Yeah.
So everything's speculations right now, but 23 million is where I'm going.
Yeah.
Definitely got to get that number one wide receiver. We need some weapons.
Okay. Look, I respect that, Val. So my final question for you, because you bringing the fire tonight. Listen, you watched the Bucs win that Super Bowl, my man. What are your thoughts about that? How did you feel about the game?
Man, I think we need to get Todd Bowles back as a heck. No, I'm joking.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that. I just came from that place, man. Damn. Just came from there. I just came from there, and you try to take me back? Is that what this is about, Val? What are you doing, bruh?
What more do you want from me?
Come on, Val. Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I got to at least poke. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
But
That's a fact.
I do not want him as a head coach at all. We had that. He was solid. He was better than Adam Gase. It was a nightmare, but it was way better than Adam Gase. But he threw in the white towel and stuff. And when we was down by 2 scores and stuff, just to add on. But going back on the Bucs was looking dominant. It just shows you that we need some edge rushers.
Yep.
We need people to get to that quarterback. And I was looking at your video earlier today too. When I don't think it was today, but yesterday that you posted about how left tackles and linemen are very important.
Yes.
That just shows you an example that you need offensive line because they.
1 second, folks. And Block Talk to crash. Hold on 1 second, folks. Reconnect. Yeah, go ahead, Val. I'm sorry. Just crashes.
Block Talk?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Block Talk. Too much fire, bro. Too much fire. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Say it
What was
again.
the last thing that you heard? Okay. What was the last thing that you heard?
Yeah, you were just saying that the importance of the left tackle and the offensive line in the situation you were watching from the video.
Yeah. Right. So basically, he was running for his life, and it just shows you that you really need linebackers. So we need to take advantage of that and try to go hard in free agency to get some guards, especially on that right side, and a right tackle, because it was just open season over there. So anybody that's a quarterback, they need to have protection. It doesn't matter who's behind there. You're gonna be running for your life. It could have been Lamar Jackson or anybody. They still will get sacked. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get hurt. So we definitely need to address that in this off season. So this long side of wide receiver and lineman, we definitely need to address those two. Those are the
that's
top.
a fact. That's a fact, Val. This was a great call from you, man. Even though Blog Talk tried to hate, they still couldn't get in the way, baby. They still couldn't get in the way.
Hey,
give him his
flowers.
flowers. Give him his flowers. You know what I'm saying? This studio audience just waiting. Yeah, ain't stopping on the hate. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you, Val. Salute to you. All right. But listen, go ahead. Yeah, man. You know how it goes.
Blog Talk, man. and also, real quick,
Yeah.
I am thinking about the Odell Beckham. I was thinking about it a couple of days ago. I will say, if we don't get nobody, possibly I'll give up a third.
Okay, finally. You didn't come around. Listen, Val, I got to get to these lines because they heating up. All right. You have a good night, my man.
All right, you too, man. Enjoy. And keep everybody like and subscribe to this, man. And congratulations on 1,000. Keep going, Joe.
Yeah, thank you. Salute to you, man. You have a good night. Listen, Val, Val was against it. He was against it. Yo, salute to everybody that's watching the stream. Please give my stream a thumbs up as well. Hit the super chat if you can. Everything's free, but if you feel like you want to give me a tip or donate as well, please do so. Oh, man, please, again, give my streams a thumbs up, man. Let's keep getting back to these. And subscribe as well if you can. We're going to keep getting back to these lines. Blog Talk behave, bruh. That's all I can say. Blog Talk be hating. Jacob, you up next. My man Jacob, 818. Jacob, we coming directly to you. Jacob, good to speak to you tonight. Thank you for calling in. Listen, are you cutting Jamison Crowder and saving the Jets $10 million? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm not, because I think he's really our only reliable wide receiver right now.
Okay.
Is you got to give him the true number. I'm sorry?
I said, okay, go ahead.
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. You got to give him the true number one, obviously, and then you got to give him a sure number two guy who's not going to be, the superstar stud who makes the Pro Bowl every year, but somebody who's just going to you can rely on them to come down with the ball. They're not going to drop anything, which he doesn't. He's a very reliable guy in the slot. And I think we already have enough cap space. Like, if we were in negative cap space and we had to get rid of some money, then I think yes. But we already have so much that I think another $10 million doesn't really impact how much we're going to spend this offseason.
Okay. Are you re-signing Brashad Perriman?
It depends on how much he's asking for. If he's asking for $7-8 million again, then no. But if he's only asking for like $3 million, $4 million for 1 year just for depth for another year, then I would say yes, because he's still very young. He's a speedster, which we could use. And I think you need depth. Like, your starting three wide receivers aren't everything. Obviously, this team suffers a lot of injuries, as we know, for the past few years.
Yeah.
So having depth, especially a wide receiver, that's pretty important. So I would say it just depends on the price.
Okay, yeah, that's a good take right there. What are your thoughts on Kenny Golladay? There's a lot of Jets fans that believe we should chase after him. Are you of that mindset as well?
I think he's probably number 3 on my list, number 3 or 4. I would say number 1's definitely Allen Robinson, number 2's Chris Godwin, and then I think you could slide him in at the number 3 spot. I wouldn't be willing to pay him more than $13-14 million a year. I think would be fair for like 3 to 4 years. I think maybe if he played a full season, he could get a couple more million out of me, but he missed like half the season, so that's a little bit risky, I think.
Okay, yeah, look, I respect that. Now, you look at the situation, there's a lot of rumors about Will Fuller as well. Is he a guy that you'd be interested in the Jets chasing after?
Again, if he's going to be our number 1 receiver, that I would say no, mainly because I don't think there's one season that he's ever been healthy for a full 16 games.
Ooh, yeah.
And
Talk that talk.
obviously he had a pretty big, and he had a pretty big breakout season, but now it came out that he was using PEDs or something. He claimed he wasn't, and it was some medication that his doctor told him to take, but I don't buy that, I don't think.
Yeah.
So maybe if that's what enhanced his play, then I wouldn't trust that either.
Yeah, I respect that. I respect that because I had the same exact questions about him. You know, you talk about the injuries for me, because I've watched the Texans quite a bit in the past, and he was one of the guys that I looked at and I was like, man, this dude's ridiculous. Like, I mean, when I tell you there's times where it seems like nobody can cover him because he's so fast, but he misses so much time. It's insane. Yeah. And like you said, the PEDs, that stuff came out. But also, and I bring this up to people, I've watched games where Will Fuller, if he made, you know, if he would have made the catches when they hit his hands, he was wide open in the end zone. There's so many plays where he was just wide open and he dropped the ball. Man, I'm telling you, there were games where he would have had at least 300 yards. I'm serious. Because he was wide open. Deshaun Watson was just bombing the ball down to him. But this has been a great call, man. So my final question for you is, what are your thoughts about the Bucs winning this Super Bowl, man? How'd you feel about it?
I got to say, my whole life I've just been nothing but hate for Tom Brady. I've just hated this dude just every week. I'm like, oh, that was such a lucky throw, and just trashing him and just everything I can to just avoid calling him a good quarterback. But it's coming to the point where if I keep saying that, nobody can trust anything else I say as a football fan.
Okay.
So I think at this point, I gotta give it to him for being this good at the age he is at, and I'm really happy for Todd Bowles too, because he wasn't like Adam Gase where everybody in New York hated him, and he's crazy and he just has his eyes flipping all over the place and just all of that.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. So I'm happy for him.
Okay, I respect that. That's big of you. That's very big of you. You know, very mature. Very mature. Very mature. I can respect that. Give this guy a hand. So mature. I have a very mature audience. I do. I have a very mature audience, and I respect you and respect your take on that. But me, I don't give a damn. I don't like Tom Brady. I never will. I never will. I'll never call him a good quarterback. Nope. Every time I can slander him, I will. All right? Every time. But I want to thank you for calling in, my man. It was good to speak to you tonight, all right? You have a good night.
Hey, yeah, good to speak to you too. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Everybody who's watching, give this dude a thumbs up. Subscribe to his channel. Nothing but love. This dude's amazing.
Thank you so much, man. You have a good night. Thank you for the support, bro.
You too.
Yeah. Listen, every time I can slander Tom, I will. Every time. I respect him. But I'm not calling him a good quarterback. Not me. I'm not that mature. Everybody else is. I'm going to keep getting to these lines. Salute to all the savages. Salute to Mr. Magic. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to everybody. Salute to everybody. I'll never call him a good quarterback, ever. He tortured us with the Patriots. I will never do that. Getting back to these lines. 646, I believe this is a new caller. 646, I'm coming directly to you. Then after that is 803. But 646, I'm coming to you. Give me your name, where you're from.
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
How's it going, my friend? What's your name?
My name's Dylan.
Say it again.
My name's Dylan.
Oh,
I was
Dylan.
watching YouTube. I'm a caller.
Okay, what's going on, Dylan? It's good to speak to you. Thank you for calling in tonight. Couldn't wait to hear from you. I know you're, you know what I'm saying, you ready to spit these takes. Hey, listen, Rashad Perryman, are you resigning him?
Oh, man, it would have to be super cheap. It would have to be like $4 or $5 million cheap. Because what I've thought of, at least in my head, because I don't work for the organization, I'm just a fan, I think we're going to be spending a lot of money if we want to be win now in the next couple seasons.
Okay, so when you look at this situation with Jamison Crowder, there's a lot of fans that are saying, listen, it's time to move on because this guy, he's making $10 million. They think they can take that money and put it elsewhere. Are you of that mindset? Do you want to see us move on from Jamison Crowder to save that money?
I think Crowder's great. The issue with him is he's leaving his prime in a couple of seasons. And like I said, we're not in win-now mode. We almost went 0-16 last season. So I would love to keep Crowder. I think he's an amazing football player, but I don't think we should, just because we're going to use him improperly.
Okay. So now you're looking at the situation now. You're a guy that wants to move on from Crowder. I want to talk to you about the free agency market because you got to replace that production. And you know, I hear your take there. I understand wanting to move on from him, but you got to get somebody else to bring in to get that production. You know what I'm saying, that you're going to miss from having him. So for me, is a guy like Curtis Samuel somebody that you're interested in?
You know, it's funny. Watching your video for the last 30 minutes, I was writing down notes, and Curtis Samuel is my number one target. I don't think he's a pure number one wide receiver.
Okay.
But I think he's definitely in the top tier of number twos.
Okay.
So if we're able to sign like Allen Robinson, a Fuller, a Juju, then we should definitely try to bring in Curtis Samuel too to be that number two wide receiver for us.
Okay. And so you are interested in a Juju Smith-Schuster, am I correct?
He's been signing. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm saying you are interested in Juju Smith-Schuster, am I correct?
I mean, he's definitely not number one on my list. I would definitely prefer Galladay, Allen Robinson, possibly Will Fuller, depending if he could stay healthy.
Okay.
Since Juju is he's very nonsensical. He just loves to do whatever he wants, and I feel like he doesn't give it all to the game, in my opinion.
Okay. I respect that. So my final question for you is... Go ahead. Yeah, so my final question for you is, if you look at this situation here, you talked about, you know, possibly going after Allen Robinson, you talked about Juju, but sticking with Allen Robinson, how much are you willing to give him per season, man? What do you think it would take to make him a Jet?
If we don't get Deshaun, or even bald-called Dak Prescott, possibly, he could be a free agent, I think we have to pay Allen Robinson big. Because he does want to ring.
Yeah.
He's going to be ring chasing, and that's why I brought up Deshaun and possibly Dak, because if those two were go to the Jets, I feel like Richard Sherman would throw interest in, and multiple stars would be ring chasing, somewhat like Tom Brady's Bucs.
I mean, that it'd take a lot because we need a lot of help. I mean, the Bucs, they had a lot of talent.
We need a lot of help.
Yeah, we need a lot of help in a lot of spaces. But Dylan, I got to get back to these lines, man. It was great to speak to you tonight. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for checking out my content. You have a good night, my friend. This is a good call from you. I want you to have a good night, though. Huh? Let's give him a hand before we let him go. This guy knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. Salute to him. So, Dylan, you have a good night, my friend.
All right, okay, man.
All right. Listen, Dylan called in with the fire. He has some fire. I got to keep getting to these lines. Got caught a bit of callers left. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. You can call in. We're going to keep going on with the show. 803-803. I believe this is your first time calling in as well. 803. Give me your name, where you're from. And are you resigning Brashad Perryman?
Joe, my guy, Kevin Jackson, a.k.a.
Listen. Fire. Anybody? Fire. Give this man. Fire. Smoke everywhere. You hear this? Listen, I got my guy, Kev, in the building. Kev, it's good to speak to you. All right? Listen, Brashad Perryman, what are you doing?
It's good to talk to you, man. You've been killing it.
Thank you.
Brashad Perryman. And again, I'll just chalk this up to kind of still being a little ticked off about the whole Robbie situation. But no, Brashad Perriman has not been good. Not only has he really only barely showed flashes, but the health issue is a concern for me. I really still think that the biggest impact I think that we'll get from our wide receiving core will probably be through the draft. With as deep as we are right now, specifically, with the draft coming up, I still think that maybe when some of the maybe lesser known guys that are going to be coming out, or maybe the lesser discussed guys that are going to be coming out in this draft, Jamon Osborne from Texas A&M. Those are mid-tier guys, but those are still guys I think that'll be able to produce here. Tamarion Terry from Florida State. I really like that guy too. 6'4", 4'5", 40, 200 pounds. I think those are the kind of guys that we're probably going to see the biggest impact from if we actually do decide to bring in. Yeah, they're going to go after a free agent guy. I'm just not sure. The names are going to be crazy, and obviously I know the biggest point about free agency this season is what happens with Deshaun. That's the biggest deal.
Yeah. And so just staying on with the wide receiver position, because you're already bringing a lot of great takes. There's a lot of people, a lot of fans that are looking at Jamison Crowder right now and saying, listen, you've done some great things for us, but that $10 million, that's way too much to give you. We're ready to move on from you, take that money and try to, put it somewhere else on this team that needs help. Are you of that mindset as well? Do you want to move on from Crowder and save that money?
I think that's another unfortunate side effect of hunger. No, I don't think we should move on from Jamison Crowder.
Okay.
But let me put it in terms of this, because what has he got, another year, some change on the contract?
Mm-hmm.
I think you could do a lot worse in trying to bring in another guy that isn't as defined in his role as what Jamison Crowder does for us here. I know there's a lot still up in the air with regards to how our offense is actually going to look with the new regime coming in. So obviously there's some legitimate questions about who's going to have what type of role. But I just think that Jamison Crowder is a known commodity. Really considering the fact that really all that we are bringing back as of right now is Denzel Mims that we know for a fact is going to be here and going to be able to produce at a certain level. I know there's a lot of folks who like what's the kid's name? Lord have mercy, he's coming up behind him.
Mims?
I this show. I'm having a little part right now.
Are you talking about Denzel Mims?
I got the other slot guy.
Another slot guy?
No, slot guy. The guy that we have that just. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna say his name, and you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that guy. He's been here for a minute already." The guy that came over from New England.
Barrios.
Lord, yeah, there it is.
Barrios, Braxton Berrios. Yeah,
I know a lot of guys that like Berrios. A lot of folks like Berrios.
Okay.
And I'm not as high on Berrios, to be honest with you, but I do think that some folks that say that he has similar. A similar skill set to what Jamison Crowder brings. I think that's kind of a crazy take, but I really just think that we are probably going to go after a named free agent. I'm not going to say a huge name.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are going to go after a named free agent, but I still am more excited about what we do in the draft with regards to the receivers.
Okay. So my last question for you, because I know you want to kind of, are you saying you want to stay away from chasing any big name wide receiver free agents at all? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think that we're gonna pursue one, or we might possibly pursue two. I'm not sure if we land both of them,
okay.
But I think free agency is probably, and just from my perspective, I think all of the big money that we should spend in free agency should be either at edge or offensive line. I really think that maybe even a corner, to kind of solidify that room, because I do like Bryce Hall.
Okay.
And I think that we have some serviceable guys, but I think we're going to need to spend money in those three areas first and foremost: at edge, offensive line, and cornerback. I think that really is where we should probably concentrate a lot of what it is that we spend in free agency this season, and maybe even add another linebacker. I know we got Mosley coming back supposedly, but we're really not sure what Mosley's going to look like. So
yeah.
There should be some attention paid to that also.
Okay, yeah. Listen, Kev, you bringing a fire right now. My last question for you is, because we didn't ask everybody tonight, Allen Robinson, big target for a lot of people. I know you're talking about edge, you're talking about offensive line, but let me tell you something. We need a number one, and we need one right now. And this guy is phenomenal, okay? $20 million is what I'm thinking the starting point is. That's what a lot of other people are thinking as well, right? First off, do you want Allen Robinson? Second off, how north of $20 million are you willing to go? What is your cutoff point?
You know what? I think $20 million is the baseline for Allen Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Allen Robinson is a stellar wide receiver, man. Real talk. He would come in and immediately command all of the attention. There's no question about that. I think that the value that he brings based on what it is that we pay him really is going to be determined with what it is that we do at quarterback. And that to me is that really is kind of the X factor in everything that we do. Do we really go hard after Deshaun? If we go hard after Deshaun, then yeah, you give Allen Robinson $25 million for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of lock that down. But again, when I say we're going to go after a name, I think Robinson is probably the silver bullet kind of case. Like if you get him, that's it. You really don't. You kind of just hope that what it is that you do in the draft will just be enough to fill out that room. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we can go after a guy. I've heard some of the guys talk about Curtis Samuel tonight. I mean, yes, it might not be the sexy pick, but I mean, we're talking about functional football. And Joe, you and I, we talked about this functional football for years. Mm-hmm. I think that's a functional football move, just considering how much really needs to get done. So I would love to Allen Robinson. I really would. I think that would be a phenomenal choice, not just for the organization to add that star power, but also to infuse in the offense. But again, and I'll just say this, and you know me, I try to keep my takes within the reasonable area.
Yes,
we're not sure what to expect from this offense. This offense, it's undefined as of right now. Yeah. I still think, and I'll just end on this because I don't want to take up all your show, but I'll just end on this. I still think that Chris Herndon has the ability to really kind of prove some of the doubters wrong by coming back and having a strong showing. We know that San Francisco, they like what it is that they do with their tight ends. He had a horrible season last year. Yeah. Horrible season. But the guy is still talented. And I think that, coming in, new attitude, new offense, new roles being defined, I think Chris Herndon has an opportunity to be a big part of what it is that we do. And that does kind of minimize the need to have an Allen Robinson type on the outside, but we can get a guy who can still be good. I'm not saying dismiss the fact that we do need a one.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure how far I would go with, saying let's pay him $25 million, pay him $30 million.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Kev, listen, I got to get back to these lines, man. It was good to speak to you, man. Seriously. I always love talking football with you. Just give this guy a hand, man. Give this guy a hand. Full studio audience. Go ahead. Give him a hand, everybody.
Quality content, my guy.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Quality content, no question. I've been in school, so I've been missing a lot of the quality content. Look, keep doing you, man. I'll be back.
All right, thank you so much. I want to hear from you more, Kev. I'm telling you, I have a show. I need to hear from you more often, my man.
You will.
All right. You have a good night, man.
I'll be there, my guy.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
All right. Listen, Kev be bringing fire. It is what it is. Kev be bringing fire. He be bringing fire. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep getting to these lines, though. We got some callers, getting short a little bit of time, but we definitely going to give everybody their time. Salute to all the savages in the chat again. Please like my stream. Please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Turn on your notifications. Hit that super chat if you can. You can also hit my Cash App as well. That's in my link tree. So we're going to keep getting to these lines. I believe this is Chris. Chris, you're next up, 857. Chris, what's going on? Good to speak to you tonight. Give me your thoughts on the possibility of the Jets cutting Jamison Crowder to save $10 million. Are you a fan of that? Do you want to see that happen?
Listen, I called in earlier, but I just want to defend myself because a lot of Jets fans been killing me.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and I want to explain. Yeah, I want to explain like where I'm from because a lot of Jet fans are not from New York or Long Island. I'm originally in Long Island. I was there when the Parcells regime came in after this, and there was a distinct difference from the previous regime into the Parcells regime. We lived around these guys. We saw the difference. We saw the intensity as far as what they had. So that, to me, that was the most successful thing of Jets football. To me, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm from the. I'm a graduate of Harvard University.
Yeah.
So,
no, look. Listen, Chris. Yeah. Listen, Chris. I hear you, my man, and I hear what you're saying. I know people. You're ready to raise that flag and talk that Jets. You know what I'm saying? We spoke to you a bit earlier. I respect your takes and where you're coming from. Yeah, I respect it. But we got to get to other people as well tonight. So I want to thank you, for calling in. You have a good night, all right? So we're going to keep on getting to these lines. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give everybody their time. I respect everybody. We're going to go to my old Jets fan here, man. We're going to go to my old Jets fan. Listen, my old Jets fan calling in. What's going on, my friend? It's good to speak to you tonight. Give me your thoughts on the possibility of the Jets moving on from Brashad Perryman. Is that something that you want to see, or do you want to see him resigned? 862? 862? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, yeah. It's good to speak to you tonight.
Here.
Yeah, give me your thoughts on the Jets moving on from Brashad Perryman. Is that something you want to see?
Yeah, so just tell me what the question is.
Do you want to see the Jets move on from Brashad Perryman? Do you want to see him re-signed, or would you like them to keep it moving?
Well, the truth is, a wide receiver is the least important. The least important player on the field. So I'm not going to overpay for him. That's what I mean.
Okay. What are your thoughts about Allen Robinson, though? Because Allen Robinson's phenomenal. This is a guy that can definitely make a change within our offense. Do you think that he's a guy that we should go after?
Yeah, I would agree with you. Mm-hmm. But if you can't block, like if I would take Prentice Sewell for the number 2 pick, or Waylon Slater. Is that his name? Waylon Slater?
Yeah, there's some guys up there.
Right. Mm-hmm. I would take them because if you can't block, you really can't do anything. So a wide receiver is like the cherry on what do you call that? It's a cherry on top. It's not,
well, I think that, wide receiver position is pretty important. It's definitely an impact position. Definitely, something that can absolutely affect your offense if you don't have them out there and they're not good enough. You know what I mean? So I think that we definitely do need to make sure we can do whatever we can to, have a wide receiver in the building, especially a number 1 like Allen Robinson, because, he's going to bring the fire for us. He's a guy that can change our outlook, change what we do, and he's going to make defenses respect us. So I think that that's huge. So I'm going to keep getting to these lines. I think we lost him. Hopefully he can call back. We lost you, my old Jets man. I love talking to him. I don't know where he went, but we're going to keep on getting to these lines. Got a little bit of time, so I'm going to get a quick take from Jason. Jason, I believe, calling in. This is my guy, Jason. Listen, Jason, we got a little bit of time left in the show. I definitely wanted to hear from you and get your takes on this. What are your thoughts about the Jets moving on from Brashad Perryman? Is he a guy that you want to bring back, or are you ready to just let him go ahead and, off into free agency and find another team?
Well, since I got a limited time, we'll just cut to the chase. To be honest, I'm gone. Half of the time he was injured. The other half of the time he was dropping balls. There was times where he, in the Browns game, there was one he could catch if he tried, but he just didn't care about it. So to be honest, I just want him out.
Okay.
And with Crowder, it's interesting as well. It's if you're gonna use that money to help, to benefit, like you take him out and go get like Allen Robinson, I might say yeah, but it's Crowder is basically our only good receiver so far. Denzel Mims, it's still a wild card right now, but after that we haven't. It's hard. It's very hard. We need talent.
90 seconds.
To be honest, I'm kind of upset with the whole Tom Brady won the whole Super Bowl. I'm not a big fan of it, but it's nothing Patrick Mahomes could do. He did everything he could do. It was just, again, receivers went, and we saw they just dropped everything. Even it hit their face mask a couple of times.
Yep.
He was so accurate.
Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And again, Jason, I want to thank you for calling in. I know we have to get a quick take for you because I got to move on. But I want to thank you for calling in. You have a good night, my man. Yeah, it was great to hear from him. Listen, I gotta close out the show. I got to everybody tonight. So that was the last call right there. Again, I want to thank everybody for calling in tonight. It was phenomenal to speak to everybody. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. Want to go back and forth? And no problem. I am the troll that lives under the bridge. My Twitter is YoungJ000. Go ahead and follow me. I'll follow you right back. We can go back and forth. Also, the show's page is The Long Beach Joe Show. On Twitter, you know what I'm saying? We can go back and forth to there as well. On YouTube, it is Long Beach Joe Jets. Subscribe to my content. Give me a thumbs up. Turn on your notifications. Troll me back and forth in the comments. I love going back and forth with folks as well. And as always, people, when you see me in person, okay, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. It will cost you absolutely nothing. The hugs will always remain free. You folks have a good one. Peace. 1 second, folks. Whew, that was a hot show. We had quite a bit of callers. Ooh, okay. Listen, I want to thank everybody, every single one of y'all, for checking out the show tonight and watching. It was crazy. This show was crazy. If this is your first time watching me, listen, please subscribe, turn on your notifications so that when I have a show, follow me across my social media platforms as well. If you hit exclamation point links in the chat, that brings up the link tree. The link tree literally has all of my social media. It has all of my YouTube pages. So it's very easy to find me. Please, please, please do that. If you call in, one more thing. Listen, when people call into my show, do not call in and hang up, call in and hang up, call in and hang up. Because you want to know why? That puts you at the back of the queue. So if you keep calling in and hanging up, calling in and hanging up, you just keep putting yourself in the back of the queue, okay? If you call in and wait your turn, I'm telling you, I get everybody on. I get quite a bit of callers. So, one thing that people do, and I always advocate this for everybody, a lot of my people that's been here for a long time, for a while, they know how I go. I announce when I'm going to do my show. I apologize. It's not on an actual schedule, like a date, but I do a show every week. You know what I'm saying? At least one Jet show every single week. If you follow me across my social media, if you subscribe to my YouTube page, you turn on your notifications, you will know hours ahead. Okay. Now the number never changes. It's the same. The number's right down here, right? You see it? So if you call in 5 to 10 minutes before the show starts, you're going to be on, pretty early in the show. That's what people do. They call in super early. That's why, so I have quite a bit of callers super early because they just call in before the show starts and they wait, all right? Like maybe 5 minutes. So that's what you can do. Again, if you call in and hang up, you're going to be in the back of the queue. I know there, other people do different things with shows that they run, but that's not the way it works here. You're in a queue. I can see you and you will get on. I respect everybody's time and I love talking to everybody. And it does not matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you just became a Jets fan yesterday, if you're thinking about becoming a Jets fan today, or if you've been a Jets fan since the 60s. It does not matter. I respect everybody's time and I will talk to everybody. Okay? I wanted to put that out there again because there was a person that was very confused about how the show works. Okay? And, they were saying I didn't like Jets fans because I didn't pick up. I don't like that. All right? I love everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. If you love the green or if you just want to talk football, talk Jets, call in. I have, supporters and viewers that aren't even Jets fans. It does not matter. If you want to talk green, you want to talk about football, this is the place to come. You know what I'm saying? Respectful debate. Also, don't call into my show cursing. I'll get you out of here. I'll get you out of here fast. All right? Faster than we got Adam Gaze out of here. Get that bum out of here. We got him out of here quickly. Fast. All right? So I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, salute to all the savages in the chat. Salute to Venom G. Salute to Val Outlaw. Salute to Macau. Salute to everybody, man. Sean Bennett, Robbie Oak, Eddie. You know what I'm saying? All of y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all. I even had Robert Sulla in my chat. Salute to you, my man. Can't wait to see you on the field this year. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see what you do, Rob. Let's go, baby. All gas, no brakes. You already know how it's going around here. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Mike. Yo, Mike from Bayshore. He been going off. Salute to Eddie. Eddie Velasquez. Salute to Niger. Salute to everybody in the chat, bro. Everybody. Every single one of y'all. D, Vinny and the Jets, everybody, man. Again, please subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Follow me across my social media platforms. Again, that can be found in my link tree. And listen, I want to thank y'all again. So we got a lot of things coming. Again, one Jet show a week. We're going to definitely talk every single week about this team. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of things moving and shaking. So we continue this, man. So again, I want to thank everyone for calling in. You folks have a good one because I got to get out of here. You folks have a good one.